We're joined by special guest, the one and the only, the hair Jackson Hinkle, former host of his YouTube channel called The Dive, which you can now catch him on Rumble. Please welcome to the show, Jackson Hinkle.
Thanks for having me on, Jimmy.
And why did I say that? Because Jackson Hinkle got kicked off of YouTube for telling the truth about Ukraine. Now, remember, you don't get in trouble for lying. People that NBC, ABC, all have been lying about the Ukraine war at the top of their lungs. Jackson Hinkle's been telling the truth about it, and that's what they won't let you do on YouTube, is they don't let you tell the truth about lots of things. And one of them is Ukraine. And so you got this. Tell me what happened, Jackson.
Well, they just randomly took down my channel. I mean, I'm in Russia right now, and I don't think that the three-letter agencies in the United States are happy that there's a big YouTube channel that was debunking a lot of the narratives that have been put forward about Russia and about their war effort, but also just about the cities and what it's like here, the daily life of the people in this country. And the biggest thing I think I exposed was that sanctions really are not dramatically impacting the everyday life here. It's a very...
That's what it was?
Wow. I mean, you go to any restaurant, you go to any store, I mean, everything is really just operating as usual and operating better than I thought it, would be. It's a very nice place. There's a lot of fancy restaurants and stuff. People live very high lives here, G-Wagons, rolling around Rolls Royces. I mean, there's also a lot of people that don't make a lot of money, but it's not what they make it out to be in the West. So YouTube decided that they were going to nuke my whole channel without any notice. They didn't cite a single video, and they took my channel down after 3 years, 300,000 subscribers. And it's upsetting, but I thank God we have, platforms like Rumble where you can find me now, where I will continue uploading all my work.
So here's YouTube actually responded. You tweet to that tweet. It says, first, make sure to fill out an appeal form. Here's how to do that. And they give you a link. You should get an email with the decision once your appeal has been reviewed. So keep an eye on your inbox. Oh, they're so friendly over there at Team YouTube.
It's so easy to go through another platform to get in touch with them.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like if you guys cared about an appeal or anything, wouldn't you at least stated why that they took his channel down? What was the misinformation? Just the biggest joke in the world is that social media companies care about misinformation. The number one spreader of misinformation is the U.S. government. The second is the corporate media. And everybody else is a distant third to that. And so this idea that social media companies are keeping us safe from bad information is, of course, a lie. What they're doing is they're keeping us from having accurate information that contradicts the propaganda that the establishment oligarchy wants us to ingest. Because if we didn't believe their propaganda, we would rise up against them. So, of course, over the funding of Ukraine war and now with what's going to be happening in Israel. So have you done that? You filled that out?
Yeah, I filled it out, and obviously I haven't heard back yet, but one way or another, but I'd imagine we all know how it's going to be. They're going to tell me to shove it, and they're going to say, you violated our Ukraine misinformation policies. And I don't know, don't you just think it's so crazy now after the past year and a half of this war in Ukraine, and they continuously told us that we have to defend the smaller country that's being invaded and being asymmetric warfare is being waged upon it by a larger country. Now all the mainstream media is flipping on this discussion surrounding Israel and Palestine. Like, I don't condone, obviously, targeting of civilians on either side, but there's a historic struggle of Palestine against the occupation of Israel. And suddenly, the Western officials and the mainstream media don't care about the David versus Goliath situation anymore. They're standing with Israel, and they're going to arm them to the teeth, just like they've armed Ukraine.
So has anybody else reached out to you to support or to help expose the censorship that's being imposed on you by the richest corporation in the history of mankind is Google? And so of course they're going to come at you and censor you, and if they're doing it under the guise of keeping everybody safe. That's what this is all about. So has anybody else reached out to you?
In defense, like Matt Taibbi's writing a piece about this. The Free Press, Barry Weiss apparently is right. They're writing a piece about this. Andrew Tate, oddly enough, is the person who's done a lot and working behind the scenes to get me settled with Rumble. And you've done a lot as well, and I thank you for that. But there's been a lot of people, and it's just so screwed up. But I'm not the first, and I'm not going to be the last one that's targeted by this. And that's why we just need to continue building up these alternative platforms.
And you're on that, what's it called, Locals, right?
Locals, Rumble, yeah, you can support my work there. But the biggest thing is just if you're a viewer of Jimmy's show or my show or whoever's work, going and seeking out these your favorite content creators on Rumble. I didn't use Rumble a whole lot until Rumble started putting out people like Russell Brand. I started watching his show there. You do your exclusive shows there. That's the biggest thing you can do to support these new platforms.
Well, today we're actually streaming live exclusively on Rumble, so we're giving that a go because once they got rid of you, Jackson, I can see the handwriting on the wall. For the Jimmy Dore show. It's just, I'm going to wake up one day and they're going to say, hey, we had to take your channel away because you said so many bad things about Israel, or you said so many bad things about Ukraine, or about Dr. Fauci or COVID. They already call our criticism, just showing people protesting Justin Trudeau, they demonetize it, they suppress it in the algorithm, and they say the reason why they're doing that is because we're doing targeted harassment.
You're harassing the Prime Minister.
The Prime Minister. We're harassing the most powerful guy in Canada.
Hey, Goliath, why don't you back off of David?
Yeah. So that's exactly what that is. So I can see it coming. Go ahead.
It's good you're doing that because not just me, also History Legends, great channel covering the Ukraine war. They got a strike this week. Angelo Giuliano got his whole channel demonetized just the other day. I got mine hit. I'm sure, I hope not, knock on wood, but I sure if they wanted to, they would come after you as well because you're telling the truth more than anyone else.
Well, it's really it's going to happen. I just feel like I'm not stopping. I'm going to keep telling the truth about Ukraine, about COVID, about Israel, Palestine, and you're not allowed to tell the truth about those things. Kurt, what do you want to say?
Funny story that I know from experience with my buddy in China. When that happens in China, when you are accused of a thing, they tell you exactly what you did. Yeah. Communist Chinese will tell you the charges.
In for tea. Yeah,
they'll bring you in and talk to you and tell. Like, you don't even get to know what you did specifically.
Yeah. We don't even get to. They never tell when
there's a reason for that.
They took down a couple of my videos over COVID coverage, and they would not tell me what the language was I used that was incorrect. They wouldn't tell me what was incorrect.
Communist China would tell you. They could be wrong, but they would tell you what the hell their problem is with you.
So this is a little worse than Communist China, what Google and YouTube are doing. It's a little worse than Communist China. You want to say something?
I was going to say that I think that, number one, we have to yell from the rooftops that what they're doing is illegal, right? Not only did they enter an agreement, these, private companies that people like to yell about, they're private companies, from Section 230 of the NDAA, which says they can't act as a publisher, they have to act as a platform. They can't pick winners and losers, but there's also the public easements. But the reason why they don't tell you specifically what you did is because they don't want you to set a precedence. So therefore you'll be able to sue them because you can point out, well, this person has done the same thing. Why aren't you taking them down? So there's a reason why they're very vague about this, and they're going to continue to be vague. But we got to, no matter what, even if we find a home on another platform, we got to be screaming from the rooftops that this is illegal what they are doing. We have the First Amendment. We have the freedom of a press. They should abide by those rules.
I'm starting to think torture was illegal too.
So it's only illegal if there's someone in the Justice Department willing to prosecute it, and there isn't. So, in fact, the Justice Department, the Biden administration, the whole establishment is pushing for this kind of censorship. So, all right, well, let's so everybody check out Jackson Hinkle on Rumble and Locals. and support his great work that he's doing over there on Ukraine, and now he's going to start doing it on Israel. He's been doing great work on Ukraine. Everybody should check that out. Hey, come see us doing the live shows. We're going to be in Dallas, Houston, San Diego, Bloomington, Illinois, Indianapolis, Levittown, New York, Red Bank, New Jersey, Wilmington, Delaware, Covina, California, Burbank, California, and Oxnard, California. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for all those tickets. See you at a live show.